All right, next up at 1-4, we are looking at Lyngs Macho Men. He is a big Giants fan, from what I understand, and you can tell looking at his wide receivers where he's got Nix and Cruz. But we'll start with his QBs, where he has Colin Kaepernick, Big Ben, and Sam Bradford. I gotta love the picks for Bradford that they picked up Tavon as well as Stedman Bailey. I think that spells good news for him. Big Ben, on the other hand, will work our way from the back to the front, I guess. That's how we're going to do it this time. Big Ben, I think, should enjoy Marcus Wheaton. Even though he lost Mike Wallace, I think he'll be fine. He'll keep his production. Antonio Brown's still around. Emmanuel Sanders is still around. He's good for 25 touchdowns, 28 touchdowns, something like that. Bradford, I think, should improve. I like his odds moving forward. He's a very accurate passer. He could be the kind of passer that gets Tavon Austin a ton of receptions. Colin Kaepernick is his starting quarterback, but he's a runner, and runners get hurt. We saw it with RG3 last year. We've seen it many times in the past where Vince Young or Cam Newton or Michael Vick, they just tend to miss time. So it's good that he has steady backups, but he has a ton of upside. Kaepernick will be his every week starter. At running back, he's got Darren McFadden, Ryan Williams, Knowshon Moreno, and LeGarrette Blount, freshly New England Patriotized. McFadden is got as high upside as anybody, but at the same time, he gets hurt as much as anybody. Same as the situation with Ryan Williams. There's a real chance that at any point in the year, he could be without both of these guys because McFadden and Williams get dinged up like crazy. Ryan Williams has not played, I want to say he's played 4 games in 2 years in the league. And both of them have been season-ending injuries. And I loved his upside. I actually took him at 1-4 several times in a couple different leagues 2 years ago when he came in. I love how quick he is. He's got some nice ability, but he just can't stay healthy. Knowshon Moreno is probably on his way out. Actually, I shouldn't even say probably. They have Monty Ball, they have Willis McGahee, they have Ronnie Hillman. Moreno just happened to have some production at the end of last year. I don't really think he has much of a future there. LeGarrette Blount is a Patriot, but he's just a goal line back. So looking at his running back spot, he could use a lot of help. I would probably pick both with his picks. He's got 1-4, 2-4, 3-4, and 4-4. Kept his picks, it looks like. He's not a big-time trader. I would probably, I'd probably go running back with that. With his 1-4, I think I'd be considering Monty Ball or Le'Veon Bell. I'd walk away with one of them. Ball would be a good fit because he already has Knowshon Moreno. At 2-4, I'd be looking at Stephon Taylor or Zach Stacy or Marcus Lattimore if he happened to slide. But if I don't have one of them, you can't draft fully on need. If there's no running back that fits your slot, I think I'd consider a receiver like Robert Woods or something like that. We'll have a look at his receivers next, where he has Nix and Cruz, as I mentioned earlier, and Torrey Smith and Kendall Wright and Chris Givens. He's got 5 pretty solid ones there. I like Nix and Cruz, obviously. It's hard not to like them. Torrey Smith, he's going into year 3. There's a lot of reason for optimism there. Anquan Bolden's out. His receptions should rise. Joe Flacco just got the big deal, so he's getting paid like he's top 5. It's time to produce, like he is during the season anyway. I like Kendall Wright. They picked Hunter and they have Kenny Britt, but I don't think that's a threat at all to Kendall Wright's ability. He is a very different receiver, and as long as Jake Locker can keep himself accurate, Kendall Wright will be fine. Lastly, Chris Givens. I'm not sure that there's a player in this draft that took more of a value hit than Chris Givens. The Rams selected. I loved Chris Givens too before this draft happened. I was all for trading any pick later than 1-6 for Chris Givens because I really like his ability and I thought he was in great shape to be very successful there. Even after I'd heard that they were going to take Tavon, I was fine with it. Then when it took Stedman Bailey, it was kind of like a punch to the face because him and Givens are very similar receivers. They're very technically sound. They're quick, maybe not straight line sprinters, but they're fast-ish, and they're very quick, and they are very crafty and technically sound. Both very similar, and Givens has produced, so there's no reason to believe that Bailey's going to cut too much into that, but still, I don't like it. That being said, I love Givens, and I wish the best for him because I'm an owner of him in several leagues. All things being considered, he's in pretty good shape at wide receiver, much better so than he is at running back. At tight end, he's got Adrian Robinson. There's another giant, and Brandon Pettigrew. Pettigrew is he had a down year last year, but I think he'll come back to earth a little bit and come back to his standard 70 catches for 700 yards with his 10-yard per catch average. And you'll be fine at tight end starting him. So Lyngs Macho Men is in pretty solid shape at quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end. He really needs some running back help, but he has the 1-4, and that's a pick that you can get it with. So I think he's got to go ball there. I think he needs to grab a running back at 2-4 if he can, and then just BPA later on. At 3-4, I'd be looking at a volume carrier that might get an opportunity to play, such as Kerwin Williams. He's a guy I like late that has a chance to do some damage. Gosh, I wish I could think of the name. There's a running back that Miami selected. I can't think of who it is right now off the top of my head, but I'd be considering him as well, just in case Lamar Miller and Daniel Thomas falter. Latavius Murray and Oakland would be a nice pick at 3-4 to handcuff to McFadden, as well as have some upside there. So good luck to Lyngs Macho Man. I will say that he's probably, it's so hard to say because the roster could go either way, but if I had to make a guess, I'd say Lyngs Macho Man, if everyone stays healthy, is probably about a 6 seed in the playoffs. But he could very well make the big dance. So good luck with your picks. Hopefully, anything can happen. You never know. If everyone stays healthy and your guys play well, you could be even better than that. But good luck to you. Good luck with your picks, Lyngs.